So basically, when you think about Boscombe, Boscombe is the most deprived area in the southwest. That was on the last deprivation index, and there's going to be a new one coming out. And since then, we know things have actually declined. The gap's widened, and so Boscombe is a very strange area. The university actually sends people here to study it because what you've got is a very poor area and a very rich area, and the two are hand in hand. But when you sort of add up the economy there, it's a very deprived area. Boscombe has basically twice the population density of any other area of the town. So people are being squeezed in. I was told the other day that in a building which was, it's a large house, but there's evidently 70 people living in that accommodation. So there is a real need for something to happen, because what happens when you get to that situation is you get used to poverty. So you're walking down the streets and there's people sitting in the doorways. I've seen a guy come up today and start to go through that bin there. It's all, these things are symptomatic of a deprived area. And the way you actually regenerate somewhere like Boscombe is by taking its strength. And its strength is creativity, its strength is things like musicians and artists, and not just getting them to do stuff, but working with them to do what they want to do, because they're the creative people, they're the energizers. And so as a political movement, as the Bournemouth Independent Alliance, what we're trying to ally is not politicians, but people to work together to change things.
The reason we're here is that in 2011 a strategic area assessment was undertaken, and it tried to tell the story about Boscombe. Why is Boscombe deprived? What's happened that you've got one small area in the middle of Bournemouth that is very, very deprived, when if you look at the rest of Bournemouth, it's green and it's leafy and it's all very nice and it doesn't have all these issues. So this report tried to tell the story about how Boscombe became deprived, what happened to make that happen. But the key thing it told us was that there were three messages we had to take away with us. One was that deprivation levels were actually getting worse within Boscombe. The second message was that if we didn't do something now to stop it, it would continue to get worse. And thirdly, that the benefit reforms that the government were bringing through about how much money people got could actually make the situation even worse.
We're trying to get in touch with some of the absent landlords to try and get them to take an interest back in their businesses, even if it is just to paint them up and to make them look nice. Sadly, it's difficult to get in touch with some of them, and some of them aren't interested in changing what they've got. But if it all looks, even if it just looks nice and looks painted up, that's going to be good for the other businesses there.
We can't solve the issues that Boscombe have got overnight. You can't just throw money into addressing the housing and then expect that all the other things will follow along. So we've got to make huge changes, and a lot of people will be resistant to change. So it's never going to happen overnight. So to have another 5-year sign up from the council, the police and all the partners is really positive from our perspective.